All right, last one is what are the market conditions here in September 2025? So right now, it is still definitely a seller's market here in Toledo, especially in the investment areas of C to B class properties. Reason being is simply low inventory. For single family homes, a lot of people are still sitting on those low interest rates that they got in the early 2020s. And in multifamily, it's just there's not a ton of multifamily properties. So high demand, low inventory, we get a seller's market. So there are no deals just sitting out there waiting to be discovered. I would love to say there's something in the bargain bin that someone has passed over, but it's just not the case. If a property has been on the market here for 2, 3, 4 weeks, there's probably something up with it. If it's been over a month, 2 months, there is something really, really wrong. So essentially, you are going to be paying for what the property is worth, AKA retail. Now, turnkey versus rehab type properties. So turnkey properties that are being marketed primarily towards owner occupants, they typically go on the market on Friday and they're usually under contract by Sunday night, Monday. For rehab properties, if a property is priced correctly, it will still go under contract quickly too. So let's say you have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house with an ARV of $130,000. If it needs cosmetic renovation and it's listed at $110,000, somebody's going to scoop that up very quickly, okay? So when it comes to flipping out of town, the biggest issues are A, you're going to be paying for a general contractor to do the work. Most flippers here in town, whether they're individual people or companies, they're doing the work themselves. It is sweat equity. It is how I did most of my portfolio early on. And then the other part of why is it hard is simply finding the off-market properties. I have people ask me all the time, do you have off-market properties? I'm going to be honest, 98% of what I do is on the MLS. There are, I do hear of things now and then, but again, you have flippers, you have a segment of the market where this is all they do is try to find those distressed properties off market, and they're going to probably get them before you will. Now, if you want to try to find those, you can do postcard campaigns, you can do letters, you can do all that stuff that you can do from far away. Just know that you're going up against pros that are doing this here, okay? Now, a baseline property in West Toledo, let's call it that 3-bedroom, 1-bath house that, like I said before, they built as fast as they could to support the expansion of manufacturing. So, if it's from $110,000 to $120,000, it's going to need a full cosmetic renovation, okay? Now, a cosmetic renovation in Toledo, Ohio. What that means is new paint, new flooring, fixtures, fixing stuff, okay? I would say for a 3-bedroom house, you're looking at $15,000 to $20,000 depending on what needs done, okay? This does not mean a new kitchen. This does not mean a new bathroom. When it comes to tearing out and updating kitchens, bathrooms, the value of doing those really starts to diminish, and it's just, you don't have to do that, okay? So people in Toledo, they want a solid, clean house to live in. It does not need to be granite countertops, $400 water fixtures, things like that. If a house has fresh paint, if it has LVP flooring or fresh carpet, everything works. People are going to love to rent that house. And the issue is that a lot of people can't find houses like that. There's a lot of people here that, everywhere, that don't do things right. You hear the word slumlord, well, it's a thing, right? So going off on a little tangent there, but again, $100,000 to $120,000, it's going to need a cosmetic renovation. From $120,000 to $135,000, it's going to need some sprucing up, it might need paint but not floors, floors but not paint, you know, this and that. And then from $135,000 and up, it should be pretty darn turnkey, where you shouldn't need to do anything but move somebody in, okay? What do these houses rent for? Typically, this 3-bedroom, 1-bath in West Toledo should rent for $1,200 to $1,300 a month. If it's really nice, or if you're up in like a C+ area of Washington local, then this 3-1 should be about $1,400, okay? Now, I know a lot of people say, you know, I only want 3-bedroom and up houses, you know, and conventional wisdom does say that. But with the inventory issues that there are, I would not shy away from a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. I actually have a few of these myself. I was worried about that when I purchased them, but they're actually really easy to rent. And they've been one of the first properties to rent when I turn over in the summer and everything. So, 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, $70,000 to $80,000. It's gonna need a full cosmetic reno. And you're still probably looking at that $15,000 or so if it's priced in that range. $90,000 to $100,000, it's gonna need some work. And then $100,000 and up, it should be turnkey. Now, what do these rent for? In West Toledo, depending on how nice it is, it can be anywhere from $900 a month to $1,000 each month, monthly rent. And then duplexes. Okay, so this is where conventional wisdom does come into play, where a 2-bedroom, 1-bath duplex is really the smallest that you should be looking at. There are 1-bedroom duplexes, but you do have a lot more turnovers in those. And obviously turnover takes up profit, so we don't want that. Now, 2-bedroom, 1-bath duplex from $120,000 to $140,000, it's gonna need the full cosmetic renovation. And I would say count on a solid $10,000 per unit, okay? $140,000 to $160,000, it should, you know, still need some work here and there, maybe one unit, not the other, things like that. And then $160,000 and up, again, should be pretty darn turnkey. So the 2-bedroom, 1-bath unit should rent for $800 to $900 per month. Some units, if they're really big, they can be, you know, $1,000 per month. But just to be conservative, I would say $800 to $900. Okay. So I hope that gives you a very basic understanding of what things look like in Toledo. So now at this point, let's go ahead and set up time for you and I to talk personally so I can learn more about you and your specific goals. You have some background on Toledo, and that should make our phone call go a lot faster and a lot smoother. So once again, this is Dave Peppelmeyer, Keller Williams Citywide here in Toledo. Go ahead and reach out to me, 419-392-1792, or my email is my name, davepeppelmeyer@gmail.com. Feel free to give me a text, email, phone call, whatever you want to do, and let's connect. Thanks a lot.